Hi Capricorns, and welcome to your April 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another amazing tarot reading for your month ahead. I'm sorry that you guys were last on the list this time, but when I saw your spread, I knew that I would be doing you guys last because I wanted to make sure that I had the proper energy to do your reading, and that probably sounds strange because why would I wait till to make you guys the last reading if I wanted to have more energy? Well, that's because I know that all the other signs will be out of the way, and I don't have to, go straight into another sign afterwards. I really saw your reading and felt that it would be a good place to stop at because. And you guys should be able to resonate with this very well by judging from your cards. But a lot of people don't know or understand, and that's not on purpose, it's not to be rude or anything, but a lot of people don't understand the work that goes into my channel and the work that goes into, getting these videos up every single month on a timeline with a deadline, or at least a deadline that I set for myself. I know that you guys would understand if it took me longer, or even if I had to skip a month or something, you guys would understand that, but I've been so busy, and I feel like you guys, being a Saturn-ruled sign, being Capricorn, really understand creating something and creating a project or content that takes a lot more than the eye realizes. Like, it's not a bad thing that a lot of my viewers probably don't understand the work that goes into this channel and the hours and hours and hours that I spend on creating the content, getting it uploaded, editing, getting the photography and pictures together, then actually recording the readings, and then obviously just managing my actual business on top of that, and having a life and doing a lot of other things in that life. So I feel that you guys are also in a place like this where people may not understand the work that goes into what you're doing. People may not understand the way that either you make your money or the creative projects that you're working on, like what actually goes into that. Perhaps you're not getting the recognition that you feel you would like. And I'm not saying that I don't get the recognition that I deserve on my channel. I do. People have been great to me, but I just feel that for Capricorn in specific, you guys don't feel that you're getting recognition. And I thought that you would understand from my standpoint, since I put so much effort into these videos and it takes such a long time of production and just so much energy. And at the end of the day, I'm so proud to spend the energy, and I feel like you guys are too on your projects, but it's easy to, get ahead of yourself and not want to do the work. So some of you might be struggling with a procrastination, and that's very strange for you because you're not inherently a procrastinator because you are Saturn ruled, but I feel like your head might be getting in the way of some of the things that you are trying to accomplish this month, or some of the things that maybe not even this month, but in the recent past and moving forward, you feel like you make things out to be a bigger deal than they are in your head. Like, honestly, I feel that it's not hard for me to create this content, but sometimes I do get in my head and I think, wow, I've got to do so much editing. I've got to get all the photos ready, and I want to make sure that I get it out to my viewers. And then I actually really enjoy the process of especially recording the readings and actually doing the interpretations, but it does take energy. And you guys are getting worked up about the way that your energy is coming across as well. You're getting perhaps in your head a bit about how much energy you have to spend. Okay, you have the Star and the Emperor reversed as your only major arcana cards, so you're feeling a lack of structure, and you're feeling like you're not shining. You're feeling like you can't access your vulnerability, and this has kind of put you in a place of internal battle, and I feel that this does have a lot to do with your career or the way that you accomplish, or your sense of prestige, whatever that means to you. I do feel like it's showing up there. It could also be showing up in relationships as well, but I will interpret for that as well once we get there. And, it is a money month for you. It does seem like you have the opportunity to make more, but not before you have some kind of realization of your philosophy of money or a change in your budgeting system. It's also a month where you're seeing who backs you and who's on your side, who contributes to your project, and for relationships, who's there for you unconditionally or is loyal to you. It may not be who you expect this month. Anyway, I want to look at this reading week to week for you guys, and we will get more specific with what's coming forward. So in the first week, Capricorns, you guys have 3 of Wands reversed, rooted down by 5 of Swords. I feel like this is you bowing out to the leeches in your life, to the people who take advantage of you, or any type of energy that you might be drawing in or feel that you're drawing in that absorbs your vitality, that absorbs your essence. I see that you're ready to leave that behind. You're ready to leave that in the past. I see you turning your back on that. Three of Wands has been coming up for so many people, so many signs this month, and ever since we moved past the equinox, because I do feel that it is an archetype that reminds me of the Aries archetype, as we have moved into solar Aries time from Pisces. And the Three of Wands is all about, turning your back on what is no longer working, turning your back on, it can't even be just as simple as the past, as you only embrace the future and what is on the horizon. And it's supported this time of the year to do that. In the spiritual community, a lot of times this isn't very supported, or people don't talk a lot about just turning your back, or repressing energy, or choosing not to dwell, or not dwell, but choosing to not do the shadow work. But this time of the year, it's really supported to just see what's on the horizon and see where life is taking you. But there's something about that Capricorn that's not quite working, because it is reversed. So it seems like it might be hard for you to turn your back on somebody in your life. Maybe if some of you went through a breakup. I'm not sensing that so strongly, but of course my audience is so wide that I'm sure that some of you have. So if you're there, it's okay. And it's time to admit yourself that it's okay to turn your back. Maybe it's time to finally admit to yourself that something was a lost cause. And it comes to a point where, if you're the only person holding up a relationship, because this will happen a lot with Capricorn, where Capricorn is the only person holding a relationship, and the other person is really drained or really done in whether it be mentally or physically or emotionally, and Capricorn will be sort of the gear or the cog that keeps the relationship turning. This is your message, Capricorn, that's kind of a lost cause, and it's okay to move forward if you're experiencing something like that. Because there is sort of something in the first week of April where you feel taken advantage of, where you feel either somebody has won against you and you feel that you've lost, or you feel that you've won, but it's really hollow. Like one way or another, you feel that you've lost, whether you actually were victorious or not. And it really suited your ego or somebody's ego, this victory. But at the end of the day, it makes you feel very unfulfilled, whatever victory came through. And again, I feel that your challenge is to channel the Three of Wands energy in an upright way, where you're not so much letting the past rule you, and not so much being concerned about what's behind you. It's time to look in front of you now, because you've really looked behind you, okay? And I feel like this is actually a really big theme for Capricorn. You've always been having a backward gaze, like feeling like there's something behind you, or like someone's behind you, or that something is going to come and take away your security. But now you have the beautiful validation, Capricorns, that with this turnover of the equinox, you can finally put your eyes forward and not so much worry about, what's coming from behind. Okay, so moving into the second week, Capricorn, you guys have the Emperor reversed, rooted down by Five of Wands reversed. Five of Wands has been coming up for so many people as well this month. And the Emperor is a very familiar archetype for you, because it is sort of a mixture of Saturn and Mars energy. This can be somebody who seems very domineering or controlling to you. I feel that because there are two types of Capricorns in my experience. Some Capricorns can be these really structured, very kind of alpha energies who are very domineering and very confident and have a strong stride and very exuberant sense of humor. And then some Capricorns are more passive, more receptive, more, I guess you could say feminine, but not necessarily. I feel like Capricorn is a very masculine sign to be an earth sign, which is a feminine sign, but Capricorn is very earthy and very down to earth, which can seem masculine at times. So you have that very masculine, very structured, alpha type of Capricorn energy. Then you actually have the very soft, reserved, timid type of Capricorn energy as well. So whichever side of that you're on, Capricorn, you don't feel that it's suiting you anymore. And you're feeling potentially a bit driven to access any kind of Gemini energy that you may have and sort of switch over to the other side. The more aggressive, structured Capricorns are wanting to be more laid back, are wanting to be more timid. The more timid, laid back Capricorns are wanting to take control of their life and are wanting to finally exact some kind of change where, they are looking at the new horizon and where they don't have to worry about what's behind them. And it really seems that you might be going into some kind of internal battle with yourself. You might be, and then again, if you have like Leo or Taurus in your chart, I would watch those videos as well because they had this archetype coming forward. 5 of Wands reversed. You're having some kind of internal battle where there's some part of you that you're not happy with, or some part of you that you're trying to repress potentially. And the message is that you've got to let it come through, and you've just got to structure it, like with that Emperor type of energy, take control of it, and create it in a way where it's not being repressed and it's not rearing its head whenever it wants, because when you repress it, it gains control over you, but instead sort of welcoming it in and kind of having a dialogue with it where you then sort of understand how to control it. Control may not be the right word, but the fact of the matter is once you stop repressing it, it stops having control over you. So that's the internal battle that you're fighting, and I feel that it won't be a battle for much longer once you make the realization that by welcoming it and having a dialogue with it, you gain more, or can we say you evolve past this state of being where you feel out of control, or you feel like you don't have control over your destiny. That's what the second week of April is about. It's about coming back into control of your destiny, whether that means achieving some kind of really huge, grandiose goal or aspiration, or whether that means just allowing yourself to be laid back and to not really care and to maybe be chill, because that can be very difficult for some Capricorns. But one way or another, you can achieve it this month for sure. Moving into the third week, you guys have Page of Swords reversed, rooted down by the King of Pentacles reversed. So some of these people that have been around for quite a long time have fallen out of favor with you. This has been a theme for you guys for a long time now, as Capricorn, I think, is really having a big shift of the energy around them. And of course, this starts with, as we're talking about the internal battle, having changed your vision forward instead of backward. This starts to change the type of energy that you're pulling in as well. And some of the old energies that are still there, that still feel so casual, are starting to feel heavy and are starting to pull you down a little bit. And you just, again, it's about having a dialogue. It's about seeing if these relationships need to move forward, if these relationships still honor you as a person. Maybe you just need to change the means of the relationship, or you need to change the routine of the relationship to make it different. And then if that doesn't help, it seems like it might be good to give the relationship a break for a while. This can also be a lot of messages. Page of Swords is all about messages, and, especially like written messages, like text message or memos or some kind of written command. So it seems like you guys might really having to deal with a chain of command, or you might be having to deal with sort of cryptic messages and trying to interpret that in the third week. It is also a sign to be, objective, to be clear thinking about this, not so much emotional. You guys don't have any cups energy except for the 9, but I don't feel that this has to do with emotions for you. And the 9 of cups isn't so much emotional anyway. So in my experience, it is emotional, but in the context of this reading, Capricorns, I don't feel that being overly emotional towards work or towards messages is going to suit you very well right now. And this is just further pointing to me as well that you guys are so much wanting to change some aspect of yourself. And perfect timing, really. April is the best time to start on a new foot. But the message with April coming from the equinox going into Aries time is that you can't do this looking at the way that you were. You have to do this and just move forward and jump into it. And, you can change so much of your personal aspirations, so much of your personal accomplishments can be changed just by moving forward. I feel like just keep moving, just keep pushing forward is your key, Capricorn, without stagnating, without, going backwards. Because especially for those of you with Cancer, but just the Capricorn Cancer axis in general, which is that 180-degree angle, is backward thinking. It tends to be a bit introverted and unhealthily nostalgic right now. So it's a better time to, just keep moving, as I'm saying. Moving into the fourth week, you guys have the 8 of Wands rooted down by 9 of Cups. This is beautiful. This is probably one of the best weekly energies I feel this month. Both of those are huge luck cards. Both of those are lottery cards. Both of those are windfall cards. So 8 of Wands is about receiving something that you didn't expect. It's about receiving more excess than you thought you could. And it can also be about transformation. It can be about, it's smaller transformation than like judgment or death energy, but this is the type of transformation that comes in through like starting a new health regime, through treating yourself to a spa weekend, through, I've even seen a lot of people get like Botox or some kind of cosmetic procedure with this kind of archetype. And of course, Capricorns are usually very natural and aren't into that kind of thing, but understand that archetype. It's about taking your appearance or your energy into your own hands and eliciting some kind of change. And it usually comes very easily. It's not hard to pay for. It's not hard to bankroll. And that being written down by the Nine of Cups, it's almost like too much. It's almost like too easy, and this could actually be a big crux for you guys, and in a way the means that you see the shadow work issue for this month, because Capricorn always wants to work for what they achieve. If you guys don't have to work for it, the end result is not usually so enjoyed by you. So maybe it seems too easy, but I feel like you guys should just let yourself enjoy it for once. Let yourself enjoy the things that come easily, because it never comes easy for you guys, but it seems maybe in April it can, because the universe wants to reward you for finally getting into forward motion, for finally turning that Three of Wands archetype upright for those of you who can manage to do that. And having the star as your central energy, it's just, everybody's watching you. Everybody is watching your contribution. The way that you integrate right now is beautiful. So this is in the reverse. So what's different about the star reversed versus upright? You can struggle to be vulnerable. You can struggle to truly look within. And sometimes you can struggle to have faith. Okay, for me as a reader, the star being reversed doesn't make any difference for outside perception. If you have the star in your reading, people really like the way that you look right now. People really think you're something. People really think that you are a star, regardless of whether it's upright or reversed. The only difference is how you actually feel within yourself. You don't feel that you deserve this. You feel that it's come too easily. Or on the other side of it, maybe you don't feel like people's perception of you is what it should be. Maybe you feel like you don't get the recognition, as I was talking about earlier, that you deserve, when in reality you do. So I feel like, again, this has to do with self-concept or self-esteem, or not even realizing that you get the recognition that you do, which is a nice message for me as well. It makes me feel like I am just too hard on myself about, getting the videos up, etc. Don't want to get off on my story again. I would just take this time to be easy on yourself, Capricorn. I would take this time to be the star. I would allow any kind of windfall to come in, because it's well-deserved. You guys rarely, and unless you have like a lot of Sagittarius or a very well-aspected Jupiter in your chart, you are slower to get windfall and slower to be very lucky and benevolent. So take this while it comes, and beware of the inner battles. You don't have to be there this month. It's a month where that doesn't have to happen. If you're having an inner battle or feeling anxious, feeling like people are against you, it's honestly only because you're allowing that, and that's a long-running cycle. So take this time to realize that. Take this time to be easier on yourself, okay? And take this time to accept the recognition and enjoy the process of working and achieving your goals, because you really are. And people may not understand the work that goes into that for you guys, but the recognition will still be the same one way or another. I'm really rooting for you guys. If you guys are struggling to shed any skins of the past, as some of you may be, I did a guided meditation for the equinox, and that should be popping up on the screen any second now. You can also book a private reading with me here or subscribe to my channel. I so appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes, and it's just such a blessing to be able to have this presence on YouTube and to be able to help you guys. And I'll be looking forward to your next reading, Capricorn. Thank you guys for waiting patiently for this reading. Namaste, and see you in May.